How's everybody doing today? What's the word of the day, do you think? Freedom! One more time, freedom! Do you know why I'm so excited this morning? I came all the way here from Hope on the request of Corinne and James to come and have a chat with you. I really appreciate what they're doing, because let me tell you, it's not an easy thing to do what they're doing, so there lots of appreciation. Before I chat, I'm gonna spotlight a few people, also a couple of organizations. Just the people in the audience. James Lowen, cameraman. He has been working so hard for so long for the freedom movement, getting stuff out as a photographic video journalist. Thank you, James. We really appreciate what you're doing. Thank you so much. There are so many people here. It's an awesome opportunity. I want to do a spotlight to a man named James Top. He was a warrant officer with the Canadian military, and he's walking across Canada. He is now in Hope. He's actually only lives a couple of blocks away from me, and tomorrow he'll be continuing on his journey. He asked me to send a little message. Also, you can find him on canadamarches.ca and support him. It's important to sometimes reach out and look beyond your own reality of the things maybe happening in Vancouver or around, and support people locally but also around the world. This is James' top message to everybody: to rise, to stand tall, to extend a hand to your fellow Canadians, regardless of who they are or where they come from. This is a time of a national crisis and a time to overcome our differences, and the time is now. It's about freedom. Are you in it for the long haul? I've had people call me, JD, I think I'm gonna go to Mexico. JD, I feel so depressed, so down, so angry. We're thinking of moving away. It's funny, as an Indigenous man, I don't have an option. We've been dealing this for hundreds of years. You're just coming into the fray. And I know it hurts. But when they exposed all the children, which we tried to do in 2008, and they are exposing all the deaths of things, doesn't it sound familiar of what's happening now to our children? There was a notice that was given, a chief sent it to me from the BC Indian chiefs, and the notice basically said that they disagree with the truckers, they disagree with the tyranny and the mirroring that they're doing to people who are of good hearts, of sound mind. Folks, this is really just the beginning, but we have an edge, and that edge is love. It may sound crazy, but there's an edge of kindness and goodness within our hearts, which are the fruits of the Spirit, and those fruits go before us like an arrow as we penetrate the heart of evil. That one little light that you have in a cave, in darkness, ignites the whole cave. Where there's 1,000 entities of evil, that one light that we share together breaks and penetrates and brings our defined purpose into being. And what is that defined purpose? It's freedom. Freedom from tyranny, freedom from a communist and fascist agenda. Okay, I'm gonna move. We do not comply. Good line. So thank you for supporting James Top. There's somebody else I want to talk about. He's a man that is probably one of the only journalists that are fighting for 2 million people in the state of Israel. The state of Israel is so tyrannical that he left the country to come back in, and they wouldn't let him come in unless he got jabbed. He's in Romania right now, but when you listen to his work, his name is Michael Gano from Insight to Israel. His work and the things that he talks about, especially about the Ukraine right now, is right on the money. So follow Insight for Israel, Michael Gano. He's a good man and an empowered man and a man of passion. All right. What's happening with the Indigenous people, I just want to give you an update, is horrific. Some of them are breaking free. Some of them are starting to see what's happening because their children are getting sick. They were being jabbed last January, by the way, before anything happened within the youth here. For the last 100 years, the Indigenous communities have never been able to say no to vaccinations for the intrusive nature of the federal government. Remember, reserves are owned by the federal government. They feel the people, the Indigenous on the reserves, are owned by the federal government. The chiefs are owned, and their councils are owned by federal government money. Except for a few that contacted me and said that we had nothing to do with the BC chiefs' mandate or letting people know that they were against the truckers and against freedom fighters. So there are a thread of our people breaking free, which I appreciate, and we're working hard to share our experiences of the past to help you, encourage you to move ahead in the future. We've got groups like People of the Salmon. We have groups that are fighting for your rights and our rights together, because the patriation of UNDRIP that happened in 2019 is one of the tools in the toolbox for the government to throw out to try and control the people, to put them in areas. At least I didn't get electrocuted here. Anyway, if you're suffering, if you're depressed, if you're angry, if you're hurt, I've had phone calls with people whose families or friends are getting very depressed and very down. And one of the important things is, I always say when I speak somewhere, is, folks, this is your family. Get their names and numbers. Start a core so you have people that you can prepare with. Because what's happening imminently, as you know, with the whole shortages and the supply chain issues, you need to get and store at least 6 months to a year worth of food. You need to get seeds, and you need to get together in groups to be able to partner and get together. If the internet shuts down, if or when they start taking things down, you need to have the people that are in your core so you can help each other. We have a list of people that we connect with through Prepare and Survive on Telegram. We have groups in the Sunshine Coast and in different areas that are farming and preparing food for their people, because if things get shut down, as you've already seen when you go to grocery stores, please start preparing. Please get the phone numbers off your phone so you can write them down. Get the names and numbers of the people that are around you, because folks, this is your family. These are your friends. This is your community. And if they create a curtain where you can't communicate, then you have your numbers. Then you have the people around you that you can be with. It's a huge, powerful tool for something that is called the resistance. It's interesting. I was driving all the way from Hope today, and on almost every overpass or at the side of the road, there were people waving. There were people clapping their hands, and it chokes you up because you know they're there for what reason? Because they feel in their heart the power of freedom. They feel in their heart the connection that we have with each other, that we can stand up and move forward. The First Nations are out there not waving because, no, and I'll tell you why. Many years ago, yeah, they have their own agenda, and she's pissed off. Now let me explain something to you. Several years ago, every First Nations community got a health worker paid for, a nurse, or somebody that was paid by the government to take care of their health care. And what did these health workers do? They took the bunions off of people. The colonials knew that they would have to find somebody that was trusted by the entire community. So these health workers that were paid by First Nations Health, who is an offshoot of Fraser Health, which is an offshoot of the PHO, which is the health office for the province, they get entrusted by taking people's, helping them with their medicines, going to their homes and taking care of them. And when they become entrusted through that community, and when COVID hit, they put out the push for these mandates. Some of these reserves are absolutely locked down. Many of our people are absolutely and utterly brainwashed. I have good friends that are absolutely taken in by this because the flow of information is continuous within their communities. So you can all but love them. You just need to love them. I know. I know. She's upset because what happens is a lot of the First Nations from the right, leaning right, are brutal. In the marches, they're brutal. There's been a work on our people for a long time, and all you can do is love them. That's what I do. I cry out because our people are again in the process of genocide, and you can't help but pray for them. And what I want to do,
You back off. You back off. You back off.
before I close, I want to talk about one little thing, and I don't mind this happening because, you know, hey, it is what it is. I want to talk about prophecy a little bit. For many years,
We all moved down here, and now they're taking up all their speeches. Why don't they give their speeches?
I like it when I'm those people, them. But you know what? I am part of you, and I'm also part of her.
Trudeau must go! Trudeau must go! Trudeau must go! Trudeau must go!
Freedom! 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 Why are you attacking me?
Okay.
Let him
Let me
finish.
just.
Let not over till he's out of there. That should be our goal. The pain won't stop until Trudeau is out of there. This whole party. He's a puppet by Klaus Schwab in the World Economic Forum.
we got
have
that.
to kill that.
Let me just share a few extra things here. It's interesting how things get
She's
riled
causing
up.
trouble. She's the only one.
I never minded because, you know what? What we have in our hearts is goodness and kindness. We appreciate the Vancouver Police for being so supportive and kind. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. So, there's a lot of fighting going on, but what's great about that is we can converse with each other. Before I finish, I just want to talk about prophecy. Almost 20 years ago, I was told from many Indigenous elders that there is a group of people in your territory, and I call it the land of peace. This is the land of peace. That there will be a sovereign nations here. That there's a people coming here and all around the world called the children of the rainbow, the children of light. These are people that there has been an explosion that has occurred in their hearts, in their minds, that connects with others. It's interesting, when James talked, he said when he made the decision to start a march across Canada, he never felt any God sense in his life. He was brought up Catholic. But he said to me, we were sitting down having a conversation, and he said when he made the decision to go across Canada, when he made the decision to take a stand against the tyranny in his uniform as a warrant officer, he said he felt a flooding of God come into his being. He said he never felt it before, but it connected with everybody else that he connected with, and there was a familiar feeling between each other as he moved forward, and that blessed my heart. That blessed my heart. Something I always do when I close, I love prayer, mostly because it connects not only to each other, but to every freedom fighter across Canada and the world, and also respecting the amazing convoy that's happening in the United States, which happened because of us. For 2 years, I was wondering what the heck is happening in Canada. We had so many freedom fighters trying to get things riled up, and all of a sudden an explosion occurred. And now people are following our example, what's happening. So don't lose that thread. Don't lose that inspiration within our hearts. I just want everybody to link arms. I'm going to just close my little part with, this is important because we have a chain. We have a chain that links us together as human beings, as spirits, as friends, and family, and community. I just want to say some words. Dear Heavenly Father, and respecting Father Sky and Mother Earth, we just thank you for your presence. We thank you that there's the spark of the children of light in each and every one of us. And when 2 or 3 are gathered in the Creator's name and touch on a single thing, it will be done. And we believe and we manifest freedom because that's our heart's desire. This very thing is spreading across the entire world, across Canada, and we will win. In your precious name we pray. Thank you, and freedom! I know. I know. She's upset because what happens is a lot of the First Nations from the right, leaning right, are brutal. In the marches, they're brutal. There's been a work on our people for a long time, and all you can do is love them. That's what I do. I cry out because our people are again in the process of genocide, and you can't help but pray for them. And what I want to do,
You back off. You back off. You back off.
before I close, I want to talk about one little thing, and I don't mind this happening because, you know, hey, it is what it is. I want to talk about prophecy a little bit. For many years,
We all moved down here, and now they're taking up all their speeches. I don't think if their speeches.
I like it when I'm those people, them. But you know what? I am part of you, and I'm also part of her. Freedom! 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 Okay, let me just,
He's out of there.
We want to hear what you have to say.
The pain won't stop until Trudeau is out of there.
We want Trudeau out, and we want
He's a
him.
puppet by Klaus Schwab.
And we care about
we got that.
friends.
Let
This is a freedom
just
fighters for
share a few
Canada.
extra things here. It's interesting how things get riled
Having
up.
trouble.
I never minded because, you know what? What we have in our hearts is goodness and kindness. We appreciate the Vancouver Police for being so supportive and
Beat
kind.
up
Thank you
people
very
in
much.
Ottawa. Don't you ever talk to me.
All right.
Don't ever talk to me.
What's your message, dear?
What's great about
Can you
that
tell me your message?
No, I got back from the convoy. I spent 2 weeks in Ottawa
almost 20
watching
years
the
ago,
police
I was told from
beat up the
Indigenous
truckers,
elders
push old women down.
is a group
And
of
now they
people
want to talk to me. I
in your
never want to talk to
territory,
them.
And I
No,
call
thank
it the
you.
land of peace.
And what was your concern
This
with
is the land
Joshua?
of peace. That there
I'm
will
just
be
wondering.
celebrations here,
Our protest
that
was
there will
supposed to
people
be
coming
at
here
the Vague.
and all across around the world.
But we have been
called the
pushed out of
Children
that
of the
area.
Rainbow. The
We've been
children
pushed
of
out
light.
of the front
These are people
by a
that there has been
Ukrainian
an explosion
protest.
that has occurred
We
in
have,
their hearts,
for the last year,
in
we
their
have been
minds,
pushed out
that
of the
connects
rear
with
of the
others.
Vague.
It's interesting when James talked.
By the whole
he said when
area
he
was
made the
taken
decision
over by
to start a march
clothes,
across Canada,
supposedly
he never felt
of
any God sense in
First
his life.
Nations
He brought up
children.
Catholic.
I don't know,
But he said to
but
me,
they're
we were
sitting
down
there
having a
rotting,
conversation, and he said
just
when he made the
just to
decision go
occupy
across
space
Canada,
and push
when
us
he
out.
made the decision to
So
take
now I come back here to the protest after a month.
His uniform as a warrant
And we've
officer,
been pushed
he said
down
he felt
here
the
now.
flooding of God coming to his being.
2 blocks
He said
down
he never felt it before, but it connected with
And we have to
everybody
listen
connected with.
to
And
white
it was a
guilt
really
trips
feeling between
by
each other
by
as
Indians.
he moved
Native
forward.
people.
And that
Yeah.
breaks my
Human
heart.
beings.
That this is our
It's
protest.
everybody's protest.
We're
yeah.
protesting
We're all
for
together.
everybody.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I love
Thank
And
you.
we can't, they just keep pushing us
Thank
and
you.
pushing us and pushing us.
But to every
We are not the fringe.
across Canada and the world, and also respecting the amazing convoy
Thank
that's
you.
happening
Thank
in
you.
the
Why
United
is
States,
he up here
which is
belly aching about how hard the Indians have been treated? This is a government tactic to suppress and oppress us, white people, and guilt us. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
An explosion.
We've been pushed out of the front of the
now
Vague.
people are
We've
following
been from
our
one
example,
country.
what's
We've
happening.
been pushed out of the rear of the Vague by all the First Nation clothes that are just sitting there for the last year, collecting rats and rotting. So I come here today after a month.
This is important because we have a chance.
I
You
understand.
know,
We have a chance.
why isn't he over there
I
in the First
understand.
Nation area?
Yes.
You know, like why are they always pushing their agendas on us?
Dear Heavenly Father,
She's passionate.
Father
Yeah.
Scott,
No, I don't want to
we
talk to
just
you.
thank you for your
Thank you, dear. Thank you.
that there's the spirit of the children
I
of
just
light
want to
in each and
see
every one of us. And
Canadians
when two
get
or three
some
are
goddamn
gathered in the Creator's
moxie
name,
and
touch
passion
on a
about what
single
we're
thing,
fighting
it
for.
will be done.
We're all here
And we
for our
believe
freedoms.
Absolutely,
And we
dear.
manifest
Thank you.
freedom because that's our heart's desire.
She has a good message. She has a
Very
good message.
thing is spreading across the entire world, across Canada, and we will
I see how
win.
people
In
were
your precious
treated.
name we pray.
They were just
Thank
a
you.
freedom
and
bunch.
freedom!
You know, the way we're always told this is First Nations territory. I don't think so.
Hi, everybody.
I was born here.
We're gonna
This
do
is
a
my
little chant
country.
right now that
My
will,
father was a vet and he fought for this
just
country for
already
5
here.
years.
I
I don't take a back seat to First Nations.
I believe
This
that.
is my country.
It's our country.
And
It's
I'm sick of
everybody.
us being guilted.
Yeah.
And we're on
I believe that
Indian territory. We're not. This is our country.
we will